Hi, my name is Linda Bartolucci, and I'm the owner of Ink Stamp and Scrap. And today we are going to talk about how to nicely package gift cards inside your handmade cards. Today I'm going to teach you 3 different ways to add a gift card to your handmade card and make it really nice to present to whoever you're giving your card to. I have a couple of housekeeping items to take care of first. First of all, this video is not sponsored. I am going to use gift cards that have merchants' logos on them, but this video is not sponsored by any of them. I wanted to let you know that tomorrow I am going to expand your ability to learn about how to package and add gift card holders to your cards. That information will come out across all of my social medias and email, so make sure you're paying attention to that. There will be an early bird special associated with learning these new techniques. Lastly, all the YouTube things. If you are new to my channel, please click the subscribe and add the notification bell so you know when I post a new video. I would greatly appreciate it if you would like this video because that feeds it to more people and we get to grow our community. All right, let's get started. All the cards that we're going to make today are going to be using the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set along with the retired ice cream paper. I do have a treat for you if you watch all the way to the end of the video, though, regarding this fun paper. So this is the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. You can see that you can build both popsicles and ice cream cones along with adding some sprinkles, and this font is adorable with lots of great ways to either say thank you or happy birthday. The other thing that's great about this stamp set is that it also has a coordinating punch so you can get the ice cream cone as well as the scoops punched out. The first card we're going to make is going to be what I consider the basic gift card holder. So we are going to use a piece of cardstock that is cut for the greeting, and it is cut to 2¼ by 3¾ and then we are going to layer that on a piece of cardstock that is cut to 4 by 2 there we go. And then we are going to use a 4 by 2 piece of cardstock to hold our gift card. And you don't have to write any of this down because I am going to include it in the link below underneath the YouTube video, or if you're on my blog post, you'll see a link in the blog post to download the PDF with all the supplies and measurements. Inside the card, we're going to add a piece of 5¼ by 4 white cardstock so that we can add a greeting. And on the front, same measurements, 5¼ by 4 with this cute ice cream cone paper. The card base itself is 5½ by 8½, and this is Bermuda Bay. So first things first, I already scored that at 4¼ I'm going to grab my bone folder and just burnish that along here so it stays nice and folded. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this paper to the front of my card. We're going to get our stamping out of the way, and then I'll show you the easy way to add a basic gift card holder to any card. So all you really need in order to do the gift card holder in this style is find a piece of 2 by 4 cardstock that coordinates with your project. All right, I'm going to put this, actually I'm going to stamp first and then I'll put it on the inside. So this is going to be Treat Yourself, and we will use the Coastal Cabana ink pad. Let me get my stamp mat. There we go. Normally, I appear live on YouTube on Tuesdays, if you're new to my channel and didn't know that. But I am traveling today, and so this is in lieu of my live. There we go. There is the Treat Yourself greeting, and now I can put this on the inside of my card. I did mention that there was going to be something fun about this paper. Why don't I tell you now? I am going to sponsor a giveaway. You'll see it in the pinned comment underneath this video on YouTube, and I will also have a link to get over to that comment from my blog post. If you if you follow the directions and like the video and leave a comment, you will be entered in a drawing to receive all the leftover paper that I have from this Sweet Ice Cream Designer Series paper package. It was retired as of June of 2021, and I still have a lot of it, and I'd like it to find a good new home. All right, so there is the inside, there's the outside. We need to add the greeting, so let's get that. The greeting is going to, oh, I should have kept the Coastal Cabana out. The greeting is just going to be a happy birthday layered right there. We're doing some very basic card stamping because what I really want you to learn from this is the 3 ways that you can easily add some way to display a gift card on a handmade card. There we go. I just love the font that this stamp set comes with. I'm just going to use my liquid glue real quick and add this to the Old Olive matte. Old Olive is one of the colors in this paper. It's the green. Oh, actually, I take that back. It's my Coastal Cabana matte. One of those days. All right, there we go. Coastal Cabana matte. We're using the Old Olive to create the gift card holder. So I'm going to put this on the front, right side up. There we go. And beautiful. All right. So now what I'm going to do is add the gift card holder right up here. And again, this is a 2x4 piece of Old Olive cardstock. In order to do this, I'm going to use my tear and tape. You could use a variety of permanent tape solutions or permanent adhesive solutions. You could use Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use liquid glue. You can use the tear and tape that I'm using. You could also use glue dots. So any kind of permanent adhesive is going to work really well. I just like the fact that the tear and tape is easy to put exactly where I want and requires no time to wait for it to dry. So for this solution, it's just super easy. And you'll notice that I am working it around the inside of the holder piece, and I'm just putting it end to end as I make it around the 3 sides. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to remove the release paper. So this is 2x4. Can't be 2 by, yes it is, 2x4, sorry. A normal gift card is a little over 2 by a little over 3 1/4. So now I'm going to just put this, I'm going to put it a little bit low because the gift card's going to pop up just a little bit. There we go. And now I can grab a gift card. Let's find a birthday one with some bright colors. There we go. And I can slide it right in there. It's a little tight, but you want it that way so it doesn't fall out. And there you go. It's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't slide all the way down so the recipient can see it popping up from the top. Super easy. Sign your card, close it up, and it's on its way. So that's the first way to make a gift card holder in your handmade card. Now let's try another one. Maybe we should step it up just a little bit. So for this next card, we are once again going to use our Bermuda Bay card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to decorate it with another piece of the ice cream paper that is 5 1/4 by 4. Inside where our greeting will go, we will put it on a 5 1/4 by 4, and our happy birthday greeting is going to be stamped and matted just like we did, although this time it's the opposite. We're going to do the Old Olive matte. And then I am going to use a 4 1/4 by 2 piece of cardstock, and I'll show you why I need that extra 1/4 inch. All right, so let's do similar to what we did last time. Let's get our stamping done, and then we'll glue as many pieces together as we can before we need to start before we need to put the gift card holder in there. All right, I'm going to change colors this time. So I'm going to grab my Simply Chamois that's well loved and super dirty, but that's okay. And just clean these off because they both have Old Olive on them. Or sorry, I am really messing that up today. They both have Coastal Cabana ink on them, and I want them to have Old Olive this time. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp our happy birthday. There we go. And then I'm going to once again stamp Treat Yourself on the inside. I just love that for a gift card holder because that's what the recipient can do with the gift card that you just put inside as their gift. All right, so now let's put all this together. Let's close up this ink pad first before I get inky fingers, and then I'll show you how to put this one together. Now for this style, I call it, the first one was the basic, this is the mitered. So it's not a lot fancier, but it does have a little bit better presentation and, or a little fancier presentation, and it's a little easier to slide the gift card in and out. Functionally, it works just the same. You're going to slide the gift card into a little slot that you are going to add to your card, and that's how they're going to find their gift card. All right, so let's put this right here. Slide it over just a little. There we go. All right, there's that one. I'm going to add my designer series paper. Didn't really furnish that too well. Going to add my designer series paper to the front. Oh, I love the polka dots on the other side too. Yes. All right. And then we'll add our greeting. So again, very basic stamping, not even adding any embellishments or bling, things that I would normally do when we get together on a Tuesday. But today it's all about learning ways to convert your cards to gift card holders. And I'll bet that you even have a stash of cards somewhere that you could just add these pieces of cardstock to and create them as, or convert them to gift card holders. All right, I don't need my glue for this, and I don't need my bone folder, so I'm going to slide those out of the way, and I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored board. I just like to score on this. It's much easier. We are going to score 3/8 of an inch on both sides and the bottom. So it's 4 1/4, 1, 2, 3. I'm just backing it back 3/8. And I'm going to go forward 3/8. And then I'm going to turn it, and it's 2 inches, and I'm going to back it off 3/8. So now I have 3/8 of an inch scored all the way around. And I'm going to grab some scissors, and all I want to do is cut away the bottom 2 little squares. And then I'm going to miter the bottom. That's where it gets the mitered name. And you'll see that if you look at the PDF that has the supplies and measurements. All right, so I'm just going to miter it after I cut away those squares. And now I'm going to go back to my tear tape and add that. And I'm doing everything on the scored side. Just makes it easier to remember. Everything's getting done on the scored side. Yep. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. All right, so I'm just going to add my tape. This time, instead of going end to end, I'm sorry, I was off camera a little bit there. I'm going to put my tape on the 3 scored sections. So tear and tape is a 1/4 inch wide. I like to measure my projects so that I have 3/8 of an inch to add it, and that way it fits really nicely. Technically, you could just use a 1/4 inch, but I find that it gets really tight. Sometimes it ends up either peeking outside or creeping up on the score line, and I don't really like either of those. So now I'm going to fold these over just to get them started. I'm going to fold them back and just lay it out. Grab my Take Your Pick tool again. I'm going to remove the release paper, and then we're going to add this to our card. I'm sure you can already see how this is going to look very similar to the first one, but it is just a step above, and it does make adding the gift card much easier. So what I found is the easiest thing to do when you're putting this one on is first turn it upside down. Now my tear and tape is here. This is the sticky part, and I'm just going to hold that up a little bit and make sure this goes on straight. And again, more towards the bottom than the top. Make sure it's centered. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and press that down. And then I'm going to fold my corners in, and we have our gift card holder. And I am actually going to grab another one. Let's see. Ooh, I have a Portillo's hot dog. There we go. These are all gift cards I've received through the years, and I just saved them for things like this. See how much easier it slides in? So that is the second way to add a gift card to your handmade cards. All right, now we're going to move into the last card, but this one I'd almost consider kind of a fun fold. It's more gifty, and we're going to add a little bit to this card because it just deserves to be dressed up a bit. So the materials we're going to use, we're going to start with an 11, you can see it there, by 4 1/4 piece of basic white cardstock. It is scored at 5 1/2, and I'm just going to burnish the score and set that aside. We are once again going to use a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of the ice cream paper, and that's going to go right on the front. I already die cut out a stitched rectangle with from the stitched rectangle dies, and that's going to go right there with our happy birthday stamped on front. We don't need anything to add for our greeting because we have a basic white base there. And then this is the part for the gift card holder. So what I have here are 2 pieces of Coastal Cabana cardstock that are 3/8 by 2 inches each, and we're going to use those as along with a 4, no, it's not 4, 3, oh, there it is. It's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 piece of cardstock, and this is what we're going to make our mechanism with. So I'm going to do a little scoring on these in a moment, but first I'm going to put the basics of the card together, and we're even going to add an ice cream cone to our card because I wanted to show you how all that went together. So let's do that first. Let's make our ice cream. So I'm going to have a raspberry sherbet cone, or sorry, ice cream. So I'm going to take my ice cream scoop and I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom with the scallops towards me because that's just going to work on the punch the easiest. So then I'm going to take my punch upside down. I'm going to slot this in. So I'm going to, by stamping it that way towards the end, I use up the least amount of cardstock because if I turned this around, I'd end up with a cone punched out that I don't really need. So there we go. And I have my ice cream. And now I'm going to use the other end and make my cone. So for the cone, I'm going to need that Coastal Cabana again. So I'm going to save that off to the side. I'm going to use cinnamon cider ink, and I'm going to stamp that. Let's see, I just want to double check the orientation here. So I want it to be this way. Okay, so I'm going to go, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's about the right direction, it just makes life easier. So I'm going to go just like that. And then we're going to add the hash marks, and I'm going to do that. I could just add them with cinnamon and they'd be kind of subtle, but if I add them with the soft suede, they just pop a little bit more. And I have an extra plan for my soft suede too. So for this, with the soft suede, I'm going to put the hash marks on the ice cream cone, and we'll punch that out. I'm not going to close that yet. Still need it. I'm going to turn this way, slide our punch. This time I am going to end up using up some of the, oh, I went the wrong, okay, wait, nope, there we go. Okay, that's why I did it that way. All right, disregard what I was starting to say because we're not going to waste any paper at all. There we go. Okay, that little tiny bit that flew over there. All right, now I have my cone and I have my scoop of raspberry sherbet. I'm going to stamp my greeting, but first we're going to finish with this soft suede, and I'm going to add some sprinkles to my ice cream. And you'll see why in just a second. First of all, it's just fun to add sprinkles to anything. And secondly, one of the greetings in here, which we're about to use, It's going to go on the inside of the card. Mention sprinkles. All right, let's do happy birthday. You'll see this is, like I said, one of the stitched rectangle dies, and this happy birthday just sits on there perfectly. Now let's bring in our finished or our folded card. I'm going to ink this up with sprinkles on top, and I'm just going to put it right here so you could address the card and sign it. The other reason that I like to do this is it reminds me which end is top and bottom when we get to adding the gift card to the card. You do not have to create it this way. If you want to put the mechanism on first, that's just fine. I'm going to add the front of the card after we finish, but we're going to get it all set up just so it's ready to go. All right, I'm going to add a few dimensionals here to my greeting. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of the ice cream and to the cone. Use another sheet so I don't have to, there we go, go around the edge. So the thing that's fun about this particular way to display your card is that it's not really a fun fold, it's more of a motion card. That would have been the better way to say this. So your gift card is just going to pop up in their face, which is really cool. All right, so let's get these off, add our greeting, and then our ice cream cone below. I'm going to put the scoop on first, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to accomplish. All right, so there's the front of our card. And this is the card that we're actually going to finish off. Let me show you what we're going to make happen. We are going to make the gift card pop up. So if you're looking at it, I guess I should do trying to get the angle right. Let me go this way. So there you can see that the gift card pops right up. And it even looks nice on the back. That's why we have that bigger piece of paper. So the gift card will simply pop up and be right there for whoever you're giving this card to enjoy. All right, now the way we make that happen is we need our scoreboard again. And if you remember, this piece of cardstock was 3 1/4 by 4. We're going to score it right down the middle at 2, the correct way. So there we go. So now this is just a little bit smaller than a gift card. Let me grab one here so you can see that this is just a little bit smaller than a gift card, and that's what we want. So it'll make it so it looks nice when it's popping up, but it tucks nicely behind the gift card. Now we need to score these guys at 3/8 in order to make little feet for it to work. So 1, 2, 3/8 back. And it's 2 inches, 1, 2, 3/8 back. You could do a 1/4 inch if you wanted to. If you were going to use liquid glue, we are going to use tear and tape again. It's up to you. That little 1/8 of an inch is not going to make a difference in the mechanism, but it is necessary if you're going to use the tear and tape. And in the PDF that you can download, it does designate the different scoring. 3/8 if you're using some kind of permanent tape, and a 1/4 inch if you're using liquid glue. All right, let me think through this for a second. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to burnish this score, and then we're going to add our gift card to one side. That's kind of boring. Let's have some more fun here. What do we have? Oh, that'll work. It's even got the colors. All right, we're going to use that one. I'm going to grab, the way I like to attach this is I like to use glue dots. I'm just going to get rid of this extra sheet there. So the glue dot is on the extension here, and I'm just going to take a couple. I just want to make sure it's not going to fall off. I don't want to make it totally difficult for whoever gets this to get their gift card off of this backing, but I just want to make sure that it's going to stay on there. And so now I'm just going to center this a little over, and there we go. So I just want this, so it's kind of like I could make it a card like that if I wanted to. So it's just standing on there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put tear and tape from end to end on this, as the whole thing is going to attach. And it's just really important where you attach this, that makes or breaks this. All right, and then we're going to bend the folds a couple times. Okay, so there we go. We have our tear and tape on both. I'm going to bend this back on the fold, and I'm going to burnish it with my bone folder. Just get it good there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. I don't want to do this once I take the release paper off, because then it'll stick to my bone folder, and I don't want to take the release paper off and risk that it sticks to itself. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to end up, let me show you, with these two inside. I guess it's easier that way. These two inside with the score marks at the bottom of the card, the card part here. So that's where we're going. That's how we want this to be. And I'm gonna line them up as best as possible as well. So I'm gonna put the first one on. I'm gonna take my release paper off. There we go. Oh, wait. And you want to make sure that you line up the bottom with the score, the bottom of the Coastal Cabana card with the score. So this is just kind of hanging out. And then I want to do the same thing on the other one. And I want to line it up. I didn't really end up in the center when I was questioning that, but I guess it'll work fine. I know it'll work fine. It just might not look as nice as you'll make it look. All right. So now I have these two are sticky, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to add them to my card. I want this to pop up this way, so I'm going to put this right here, right in the middle, and then I am going to close my card up and just make sure that this sticks. Now I can add my front. Yes, I'm making you wait a second because I want to have the big reveal. Here we go. All right, so this is way number 3 to add a gift card to a handmade card. This is a little bit of a bump to it when you're adding the front at this point, but it still works fine. I do recommend you use liquid glue for that, just because you get a little bit of wiggle room. And now, just like the other one that I showed you, when I lift this up, there's my card. So it's going to show off to whoever you're giving the gift card to. All right. So thank you very much for watching today. Please be on the lookout for additional ways to add gift card holders to cards, and also to package them up as gifts. All of that all the details about that will come out tomorrow on social media as well as on my blog. And I look forward to seeing all of you live next week on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please click that subscribe button and be sure to ring the notification bell so you know every time I post a new video. And if you would so kindly give this video a thumbs up, a like, so that YouTube will send it to more people and we can continue to grow our community. Have a crafty day.